of themselves. They look Finland should be ashamed of themselves. They look so horrible today. While they have our prime minister sitting there and they're talking about terrorism. Colluding with a country, Nigeria, that have been declared the most dangerous place in the world for Christians to live.
Alright guys, welcome to my channel. Guys, I want you guys to listen to all that happened in this particular video, and this has to do with everything that has been happening on the social media and also debunking most of the things that actually appears as lies against Simon Ekpa. Alright, the 6 years suggestion by the prosecutor, and a lot of things that have actually come online that people find out that they are all not true. And I want you guys to pay attention and listen to this update. And just after this update, I also have another update of a very major event that happened in the United States of Biafran Embassy Hall that particular day on the 30th of May. All right, so please stick through and let's watch this together.
Now, I have never seen in a country where you brought allegation over somebody and then without going through the court proceedings to find out if this man is guilty or not, you are suggesting 6 years sentence. Is it not the same country, the same court that told us a person is presumed innocent until he's been proven guilty? Why, where, and how did they fetch 6 years without even going through the normal procedures of the law? This is my point. And I want Biafrans to know this. The lawyers, the people who has read law can actually counter this. That prosecutor has no right to jail anybody or to pronounce any jail sentence without the knowledge of the magistrate. And that is the simple truth. Because there are laws that are guiding these things. There are laws that are guiding this individual. And a terrorist case of that magnitude carries 14 years sentence, 14 to 21 years. It's a kind of case. So if you see somebody coming to tell you that our prime minister should be going in for 6 years without the case being tried, without the accused person without the accused person to come and defend himself, then there's something going on. There is something fishy. Now, it would be better for us to understand that Tinubu has rolled out billions of dollars, if not millions of dollars, to make sure that he intimidates Master Simon Ekpa. And I'm telling you people the truth. But this is the spoiler alert. The spoiler alert is that the prosecutor only has the power to present his argument. The prosecutor does not have power over the jurisdiction because the jurisdiction has their, templates on how they handle a matter. So whatever payment that they have given to whatever, because I believe this prosecutor has to be investigated for coming to the court first time and saying, oh, Mazi Simon Ekpa must go to prison for 6 years without any investigation, without any argument on this same particular case, without even, deliberating on the case. Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. And now let's start do the mathematics or the mathematical calculation. Now, this court is going to last for like 3 or 4 months, or 2 months, or 1 month, whatever. Now, this year is actually gone. Now, Tinubu has just 2 years, 2026, 2027, to, run for another election. And definitely, Tinubu has a way of bribing his way in. He never won the first election. We all know this. So he has a way of bribing himself in. So he knows that he's going to be in power for 6 years. Now, he doesn't want anything to do with this court case of Biafran government. And I'm telling you the truth. He does not know how to face Simon Ekpa. They can't face Simon Ekpa, and I'm telling you guys the truth. They cannot face him. Forget the way he was looking, he was feeling. This guy felt so bad when he came out. Because all the people he was fighting for are the same people who were writing letters against him to Finnish authority. So what do you think this Finnish authority is going to do? They're going to come in and then crap on him and then start investigating. Now, all Nigerian government is trying to look for a way to wash their hand off. You see, they are going to collect your money. They will collect Nigerians' money, but justice must be served. And I'm telling you people the truth. Justice must be served in this case. There is no how they are going to manipulate this case. Now, in any justice system in the world where this kind of high-profile case is being mentioned, it carries, if our prime minister is found guilty on the basis of terrorism, it is carrying life sentence or death penalty. Most especially in England, it is 14 years. After 14 years, then some of them carries 21 years sentence. Then they will now start looking for other options. 6 years is a red flag to us. 6 years, red flag, big one. But I know you guys understand that this case is dead on arrival. And I'm telling you, it's dead on arrival. And I'm going to explain why. Why is because in this country, self-determination is not a crime. Self-preservation is not a crime. Self-defense is not a crime. Now, asking for your country, which is a self-determination, is not a crime. So until this becomes a crime, that is when our prime minister can go to jail. Until the EU come and, readjust that law and say now, self-determination has become a crime. Self-preservation is now a crime. Self-defense is not a crime. That is when our prime minister can go to jail. Because what our prime minister was doing was defending Biafran land. And the Finnish authorities saw it, that immediately our prime minister was removed. These animals, these Musa boys, Musa orchestrated heavy heat. The unaliving in the southeast, all of you saw it. You saw the way they behaved. Immediately our prime minister was removed. And even up to today, that onslaught continues. So how can you do investigation overnight and now bring it and now say, oh, you give him 6 years? That man must be, and I'm telling you, investigated. The prosecutor must be investigated because no prosecutor does that. I have taken my time to make a research and realize that the prosecutor has the right to remind the judge of this person's rights, human rights, of this person's, fundamental human rights, and the capacity to think as a human, and leniency must be taken effect. And then they have the right to remind them of the character of this person. They have a right of reminding them how this person must be dealt with in their own ways, and the right that this person has as a human. We know that Finland might have sold out, but as long as it's in the court, it becomes very difficult to, to overpass or to overlook. These things are there, so they are not the things I'm making up. But I want to ask the people who were shouting on television, who were making noise. Oh, because I saw channels, is it Channels Television, where OGD Kaope, I was saying that our prime minister was called in for questioning. They took him to court and he said, no, he's not a Biafran agitator. That he's a content creator. That is why he's always dancing. You see, you people just mess yourself up. It means that today that it is true what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been saying, that media is the biggest propaganda in this world. Biggest propaganda. OGD Kope, they just came out. Ruben Abati, oh, Simon Ekpa is a terrorist. Simon Ekpa is this. All of you will bring those evidences against Simon Ekpa now. All whether no mumel, he don't reach where una go come out, come talk. We have gotten to that stage where you people will come and defend all these lies that you have told. I'm telling you, because you can't dodge this case. Tinubu is trying to dodge this case so that they will give our prime minister 6 years, so that within that 6 years he is done with his tenure. Another government will now take over and continue from what you started. You will finish it. Our prime minister told you, if you had known, if you had sense, you would have left him alone. Our prime minister told you that he wants to drag you to the international court, and that is what has happened. And now you are avoiding it. You are meandering 6 years. That money you gave to that man, allegedly, the money you gave to him, go and collect it because it will not work. Believe you me, Tinubu is a very highly corrupt. That judge, prosecutor must be investigated by the Finnish authority. I'm telling you, he must be investigated because he can't just come and say that nonsense in court. If at all he said it, Because I don't believe he said such a thing. 6 years? How? When the case has not started, when the preliminary hearing has just started. It just started. The hearing of the case just started, and you're pushing for 6 years. For what? Without the so-called offender coming to, give his own testimony. I've never seen that anywhere. So our eyes are open. So Biafrans, this is what it is. It has gotten to the stage where Musa, Biankolo, what is his name? Tinubu, Senate Akpabio, Senate President Akpabio, the criminal Senate President Akpabio, the Vice President, all of them, they were shaking hands. It is time for you people to come to Finland for this defense of this case, because you people, what you want now is postponing, and it cannot work here. This is Europe, not Africa. So he who has accused must come to defend. He who said this man is a thief must come to prove how he became a thief. You must come. This Finland. You must come to this Finland. So Biafran, on this note, I want you guys to understand that we have only one government. Forget all these criminals that are going around calling on Rapweze Fulani. They are all criminals. Believe you me. Anybody that calls Rapweze a terrorist, a criminal, is a thief. They have nothing to offer to you people. And I'm telling you from experience and from what I have seen, they are all criminals. They ask you, what has your government done? What has their own governments that they claim that they have done for Biafrans? At least we are seeing what Rapweze is doing. So, Biafrans, on this note, I have to leave you guys and get into the other room. I'll see you guys in my other video. Thank you, and may God bless you.
And spiritual orientation, even though we as people have extraordinary mental and physical strength to endure life challenges, those over 50 million who participated in the self-referendum have clearly stated that they have reached the breaking point and voted to exit the amalgamation, something which our supreme leader has prophesied severally. Charity, they say, begins at home. For Biafra to be able to take its God-assigned responsibility to gather and lead Africa out of misery, we need to already now start to act accordingly. By gathering the children of God, Biafrans irrespective, we are no longer agitating to restore our independence. That is already achieved. We must together and in unity defend and utilize it. So fellow Biafran, let's begin this journey towards peace and reconciliation. Together we cannot attain unity in midst of pieces, misunderstanding, distorted hatred, wickedness and fight among us or against one another. That is why we have mapped out this hour today to search for peace and reconciliation, not just as individuals with our own stories and experiences, but as part of a larger community and the Biafra motherland. Mind you, peace is not just the absence of war or conflict, but also an active state where respect, understanding, and compassion are fundamental elements. It involves the ability to look beyond our own differences and find common grounds. It is an acknowledgement that we are all humans and Biafrans with the same basic needs for love, security, and recognition. Reconciliation, as we know, is a process by which we heal the wounds caused by conflict and misunderstanding. We all know that it takes courage to admit our mistakes and takes strength to forgive those who have wronged us. Reconciliation is about building bridges where there used to be division. It is about creating a future where everyone can thrive. Therefore, need a reset and restoration of sanity. This can only be achieved through our individual acknowledgement of the fact on ground, recognizing the messages from the little voices in us as free people of conscience, ethics, moral. Let us remember that the biggest changes begin with small actions. When we choose to listen instead of judge, when we choose to reach out instead of turning our backs, we create a wave of positive change. Each and every one of us has the power to be a force for goodness in our beloved nation. This government have been reaching out to thousands of Biafrans, calling everyone, whatever you have to give, please join us and do that. Whatever you have to do in your own little way, please start doing that so that we all go home faster, we all protect our land faster, we all start enjoying our country faster. Anything you can do to make this journey happen, please bring it in. I am open to that. It is an indisputable fact that we as a people are bearing several scars accumulated all through the years after the British punitive expeditions in the region between late 19th and 20th century, during which they navigated their way to our motherland. Before then, Biafrans lived side by side nature and had unique respect for nature, despite its advanced industrialization and development. Recall that through difficult and challenging times posed by external invaders, Biafrans have always confronted the situations in unity, putting aside their individual differences, disputes, and misunderstanding. We will always make it if we, as Biafrans, stay true to this course. If we stay true to the course. But be not deceived. Nigeria will not let go easily. They will use Biafra as plant them at what you are doing to distract you. As a Biafra, your job is to immediately recognize these individuals and ensure that they don't succeed in what they're doing. We welcome everyone. We are open to everyone, but we are also mindful of the danger that Nigerian government poses to Biafrans and to the world. That danger they pose, they show it in different formats. But the most important they use is to use fellow Biafrans to disrupt our independence. We're not going to allow them this time. No, we're not. It's a promise. The failed state of Nigeria will continue to do whatever they have to do. We, as the United States of Biafra, we will continue to monitor, we will continue to equip ourselves, our people, and our military. We are building one military report, one of the best. Our military have been receiving both international and local trainings from different approved agencies on the rules of engagement, on what to do, and what not to do in time to war, especially right now. The United States of Biafra has been at war with the Nigerian state for the past 3 years or more. Finland, you should know that. War is not where you come out and be shooting, blah, 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 blah. Nigeria state is currently actively has been engaged in secret war with the United States of Biafra, killing our people, removing our people, invading our neighborhoods. That is what Simon Ekpa has been fighting for. We cannot fold our hands while the Nigerian state invade us and kill us. No, we must protect ourselves. Self-defense is our right. We have many speeches, but fellow Biafrans, I'm going to stop here at this point, and please do not be moved. All hail Biafra! All hail Biafra! All hail the United States of Biafra! May God bless everyone. All hail Biafra! Welcome, Honorable Mr. Olewude, Government Precious.
Biafra. IDCM, thank you for a wonderful speech. You always drive home what our heart speaks all the time. On behalf of the Religious Freedom and Monitoring, my name is Nicolewune. I was asked to chair this department. So my talk today is coming from all departmental bodies. So I'm just here to represent the Department for Religious Freedom and Monitoring. I want to take you back a little bit. Just journey with me. Journey with me in spirit. What we're doing and as more. Because many people don't know how God leads. We don't look at human expectations, we look at God's expectations. And when you look at God's expectations, you don't look at human limitations, because God is the one that leads. God is not going to use angels to give us Biafra. God is going to use human beings like you and me with limitations to give us Biafra. The one thing you should know is to make sure the Spirit of God leads. If God wants to give us Biafra with an angel leading us, He's going to send one from heaven. But no, He didn't do that. Our religious foundation stems from God, as we all know, and captured in our Biafran Constitution, which details guidelines in the mode of operation as it relates to social adaptations as we prepare for our Biafran exodus. Let us bear in mind the spiritual aspect of the great movement. It's very important to bear in mind the spiritual aspect, because it's only the spiritual aspect that will make you stand strong even in the midst of being abused with words which I've already received so many times. But the God who is leading me is not going to draw me to the corner, because He who is in me is greater than He who is in the world. So fully, it is obvious that a corporate outlook and identity are needed. The religious styles as we offer have been shaped to align with the features of our country. It takes into consideration our tradition and culture, and it states the fundamental acknowledgement that we are children of God. Hence, we answer names and perform actions that links us directly to God, the Creator, the greater good. Our pursuit of religious freedom and the need for monitoring in the context of our new nation, Biafra, makes it imperative for us to journey back to our first love. What is our first love? Before Nigeria happened. Remember things by moonlight, moonlight community play, moonlight ancestral history, and so on. Congressman Chris Smith informed us that democracy originated from Igbo land. That's right. Yes. Let me also add that the idea of bedtime story originated from Biafra land. Yes. Our God, who we call Chief, was everything to our ancestors. They had metaphysical ideas, very passionate in their hearts. And we are called to do the same by going back to our first love. The world knows who we are. But some of us have refused to appreciate who we are or who we are expected to be. Although we have come through fire and water, we have yet to understand who we are. The people chosen, the people God has chosen and loved, even when we refuse to acknowledge and respect our only chief. Just like in the old days, our chief abandoned us to the hands of enemies, who wasted no time devouring us, which Nigeria is doing today, and which we are seeing in international level by what is happening in Finland,